Right, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre Executive. This is an automatic version, as you can see here on a 56 plate, finished in black with a full black leather interior. This car has covered just 60,900 miles. It's in very good condition. You're obviously looking at a 12-year-old car here, but it certainly doesn't look like one. Lenses are completely clear and intact, no marks on or cracks or condensation in those. Bonnet itself is very clean, hardly a stone chip of any note on there at all. To come down the near side of the car first, really clean in the panels in terms of any indentations on there. Can't see anything at all. To come around the front of the car, front wing very clean, front near side alloy completely unmarked. Very good set of tyres on the car, spares absolutely as new on there as well. That was checked earlier as part of the service. The panel work, you said, very clean. Rear near side alloy, again, very clean and tidy. Don't get me wrong, it is a 12-year-old car. There will be the odd sort of minor little brush mark which you get on any car this age, but most of which on there would take about 2 seconds to polish out with a tiny bit of T-cut. But I'm being hard on the car, in all honesty, in that sense. Around the back, wheel cover's still there and intact and in good order. There's a quick detached tow bar, proper Honda one fitted to this vehicle. Tow bar is in the car with the keys to put it up, take it on and off. Pardon me. Offside of the car, as with the near side, very clean in the panel work in terms of indentations again. There's nothing of any great note on there. And then offside rear alloy, again, just looks like brand new. And then the remaining panel work is really nice. Final alloy, as with all the others, in beautiful condition. So looking at the car externally, it's in very good condition for the age of the vehicle. It's coming into the boot area, and it is an enormous boot on these CR-Vs. Really are huge boots. Again, all in very nice condition in here. Underneath here, as you probably know, you get the little picnic table, which is what this one is. You take these out, lift it up, and you can see there you've got all the tow bar, tools, etc. for the car are still here and present with the vehicle. Just coming to the back of the car now. These CR-Vs offer an enormous amount of rear leg room. They are unbelievable. They are on sliders, so you can actually pull the rear seats forward as you would do on a front seat to actually increase the boot space of the car. Leatherwork is in beautiful condition back here as well. A lot of these CR-Vs do get used for their purpose, which is obviously for family cars. This has been given a very light life so far. Coming to the front now, near side front door card looks almost as new. There's no marks of any note on there again. The interior of the car is in wonderful condition. It really is. All the carpets are really nice. Front passenger seat here looks almost as new. It's unbelievable condition. Driver's door card again, in really lovely condition. So the video doesn't really do this car justice, in all honesty. Front driver's seat again, really good condition. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section so you can see the dashboard illuminated. Sat nav works absolutely perfectly on the car. But the whole interior, the dashboard again, just looks, borderline factory fresh. It's absolutely wonderful condition. So you've got the centre table here as well. If you don't want to have it there, just pull the little tab underneath it and drop it down. It's really clever design. And then across to the main dashboard itself, just panning there for you, hopefully you can see 60,996 miles. There's no warning lights on this car at all. And as I said, the video just doesn't really do credit to how well this car's been kept by its previous owners, and just 2 of them, by the way. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack, and very importantly, locking wheel nut key is here and present with the car. So finally, just to come into this wonderfully presented engine bay by Honda. Fabulous engines. We've just serviced this car, but it's a lovely vehicle to sort of maintain either yourselves or for any garage, because there's actually space under an engine bay which you don't normally see. What will follow this video will be a road test of this very car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V, and it's the 2-litre executive automatic car. This particular car is registered PK56EUC, and mileage at the start of the road test is a very low mileage one. This one, for the age and year, it's just 60,984 miles. The reason we do the road tests is basically so customers of ours actually get to see the cars in operation prior to coming to see us. That way, if there's any issues on the car, we can and we will relay them back to you. It's the whole point of doing them. We're acutely aware that a lot of our customers are coming from not just the UK but all over mainland Europe now. So the least we can do is put the time and energy into doing this for you. So coming to the car itself, engine starts absolutely instantly, of course, settles to completely smooth, even idle. There's no warning lights on the dashboard at all on this vehicle relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge, and it's been running for a little while now, is running at a third on the temperature gauge, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car, petrol, diesel or otherwise. Fabulous units, cam chain driven, so there's no cam belt services on them at all, but just a lovely engine to use in operation. It's quiet, it's smooth, it's perfectly judged for the car. Wonderful reliability record, far better than any other car in its class. It's a simply fabulous unit. This is obviously the facelift version, which they introduced in 2005, and as such benefits from increased refinement, sound deadening and a whole host of other mechanical changes, as well as styling changes to the car. But the engine's an absolute peach, it really is. I've just picked the car up now because it's going to come back for a engine service, which is going to be done prior to sale, plus also a new MOT will be placed on it by an independent MOT company. Engine then feeds through into the Honda automatic gearbox. I love the gear lever, obviously up here on the Hondas, you've got the readout there, as well as on the dashboard to tell you which gear you're in. Brilliant gearboxes, again, incredibly tough and reliable. But the gear changes themselves, very smooth indeed. You hardly feel them, they really are beautifully done. Very well judged ratios to suit the engine and the performance of the car and the economy, and all working absolutely beautifully. I always do what you should do on any automatic regardless of reputation, and that's just to check that when you select drive or reverse from neutral, there's no delays or thuds or clunks going into gear. And there's nothing on this one at all. It's absolutely perfect. In fact, the engine gearbox just feel like new. They feel absolutely spot on. Steering of the car, wonderful on this generation. Tracks bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back to the steering wheel at all, but it's got a lovely weight to it. It really is. It's power steering, so it's actually very easy to maneuver. But it's really confidence inspiring. This road's perfect for the car because it's kind of its second home, if you like. People like to have the upright cars for country lanes, but it just feels solid in your hand. It makes the car feel oops daisy, I have to go back a second. It just makes the car feel really solid on the road. It really does. But I can't detect any wear in the steering at all. I really can't. Chassis of the vehicle, I rate this as one of the most comfortable Hondas they ever made. The ride comfort's very good on it. What I'm looking for on road tests, especially over bumpy surfaces like this, is any kind of secondary noises sort of clunking up from underneath the car, and that's normally just fairly innocent stuff, like a sort of bush that's perished or these little droplings you get on the suspension chattering away. But there's nothing on this. It feels tight, taut, Body control's brilliant. You don't sway about too much, even though the centre of gravity is higher than it is on, you know, a normal car. Honda have done a brilliant job on these chassis. They really have. So when you turn into corners like this, it just holds station. It's not pitching and wallowing about, which is particularly good for rear seat passengers, you know, notably kids who may be prone to travel sickness, because mine are the same, my kids rather, and they don't get travel sick in these cars at all, and I've had plenty of them now. Brakes on the car, by the way, it's got a lovely solid brake pedal. Just give them a bit of a shove, but it's a solid pedal. There's no vibrations or pulsing from the brake pedal at all, which suggests things again like brake pads and discs are in a good order, but again they'll be checked as part of the service and MOT. Just checking the cruise control function, that's working perfectly as well. Looking around inside the car, it's going to be going for a clean in a second as well as part of the preparation, but to be fair, it's in lovely condition in here. Quite brilliantly made cars, they really are. They put them together so well, Honda. Not a hint of a squeak or buzz or anything from inside the car. I mean, you'd never ever believe the car was, you know, nearly 12 years old. You know, it just feels far newer to drive. Inside, its simplicity itself, obviously a very well appointed car, being the executive version. Sat nav, you can see there, working absolutely perfectly. Air conditioning pumps out ice cold air, so all in very fine order, and the cool box as well blows lovely cold air into there to keep sandwiches, or in my case chocolate, nice and fresh. Heated seats, I've checked those, work absolutely perfectly as well, but the condition of it's wonderful. Main dashboard, again, facelift versions, so slightly different dials to the older ones. Simplicity itself to read and understand, and all the gauges, everything working exactly as it should, or as they should rather. If you don't know already, these are four-wheel drive cars, of course. Honda use a very clever system in that it's so simple. It's bulletproof reliable. We've never touched one. But it's just the way it operates. There's no buttons to press to engage or disengage it. It does it all for you. What basically happens is, if you were driving in sort of snowy or icy conditions, or across a sort of a muddy field or something, you'd feel the front wheels start to spin momentarily, and then seamlessly the rear wheels would kick in, because the car would recognise that, and it gives you four-wheel drive. After a short period, it disengages it when it realises you no longer require it. I mean, it is brilliant, and I've towed caravans for many years using only CRV with this system, and I've never come close to getting stuck with one. It's a brilliant system for this type of use. The big advantage, of course, is the fact that in driving like this, I'm in front-wheel drive, which is, you know, the most, the kindest way to drive the car, for the tyres, mechanical wears minimised, fuel losses are minimised as well. So absolute genius, it really is. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is to pick up on any issues, no matter how small they might be. In driving the vehicle, I can find nothing at all other than to report back. And I used to sell these brand new at Honda when I was working for the Bristol Honda dealership. This feels as close to new to drive as I've ever driven a CRV. It drives absolutely beautifully. However, if I've missed something on the video, don't hesitate, do give us a call, and we'll happily answer any questions you might have about this car.